So I wanted to share a video with my community here, going on building trust with our horses. So I was just sort of standing out here, and Merlin, who's our newest horse that came to us about a week ago, he's a rescue, just laid down right in front of us. We didn't catch it on video, unfortunately. That's huge. We also have this space up here with our herd. For a horse to lie down in your space means they feel safe, because this is their most vulnerable position as a prey animal. They won't be able to flee. And when we talk about building relationship with our horses, so I know with Merlin, who is a horse that comes to us from another rescue, he was rounded up as part of a roundup. So he lived in a feral herd for 2 years, not in contact with people. And so he has, some caution around that relationship. And so as he came to us as a young horse, knowing that he's minimally handled and we are going to have to work up to be able to halter him and, pick up his feet. I also know from having a herd of horses where, they are former rescues, so we get a lot of horses that have trauma. We need to put the time in to build that trust with them before we ask anything of them, because we have to earn that. It's not just a given. That philosophy also gets woven into how we hold space with our partnership and work with our horses. So the majority of the space that we hold with our herd in our work is bringing people out into the field at liberty and teaching them about how to safely and respectfully be in the horse's space. Odin, Merlin, you're being such a good boy. You're being such a good boy, Merlin. That's Odin checking Merlin out. And part of why that's important for us is we need to build and teach people how to build trust with these horses. So we don't start with round pen activities, because I feel personally taking a horse out into a confined space with a strange person that doesn't know how to read their energy is unsafe for them, because then they're going to have to take the responsibility of that person's energy. And so before we even build up to an activity, and honestly we also feel just being at liberty with these horses is powerful, we start at the foundational pieces of how do we come into this space and build trust with these horses, and meet them equally. And so it's teaching, how do we read and respond to the horse's space? How do we enter that respectfully? How do we receive their exchange without imposing what we need on them? And then creating an environment where our horses get choice of who they want to step in to be with and how they want to interact. But the really powerful thing is creating a space like this means that the horses are so engaging, because they trust the space that they're given. And there's Malachi going down. So this is really the power of when we hold this environment this way with our horse partners, is we get to see something like this. I think it's very powerful to witness horses lying down in their vulnerability with us. That doesn't happen until we create a space where it fosters that to happen. And that's both the responsibility of myself, and I think one of the things that I offer to people as they come in to engage with my herd is they have to be self-responsible and be conscious of how they're entering into this dynamic so they can receive something like this. And this is how we hold partnership, is we're teaching people what does it mean to be in sacred space and relationship with these horses, so we can have really amazing and magical moments like this where the entire herd, or almost all, you're never going to have all the horses lying down, because as a prey animal they do require some horses to be in sentinel role like Callie and Chiron are, but this is the result of this. So just imagine yourself being able to sit in this herd with horses in their greatest vulnerability and receiving the gift of that, because you develop that trust with them. That's the impact of your energy coming in, that they feel safe enough to offer this to you, and in return invite you into that as well. So I wanted to share that because I think it's really important for us to understand when we're working with these amazing animals that we have a part to play and contribute to fostering experiences like this, and to look at them as partners, and how do I really nurture the safety of this relationship, not just for our gain, but for the benefit of these horses. And so for a lot of our horses, because we do have a rescue, they don't come here with the experience of being in a trusted relationship with humans. And so part of our rehabilitation and healing with our horses is to ensure that they have an environment, and there's a certain way that we're bringing people into the space so they can build trust and they can heal. And that's part of healing kind of the wounding of the horse-human relationship, where we don't offer them choice and we don't really look at them from that place of building relationship. It's, what can you do for me? And so what happens, as how we sort of teach or bring people into the space, it's a mutual healing. They get to be seen and honored, and then we feel that because we've contributed to that environment. And that's what I really feel this work should be about, is a mutual beneficial offering and honoring of the horse-human relationship, where both parties are seen and witnessed and being given, being held sacred in that dynamic. The simplicity of just being out in the herd is powerful, truly. And I hope you can sense that from this video. So it's pretty remarkable. So let me know your thoughts, but I just wanted to share an example of this because I think it's just such an important aspect to speak on when we're building trust and we're working with horses, and how do we honor that.